Hi, so this is the grade 9 lesson on Venn diagrams. Right, so this is an exam question. First thing, for one easy mark, you have to just put 5, 6, 8, 9 in the correct groups. So if we look here, it's numbers from 1 to 10. A contains multiples of 2 and B contains multiples of 3. So first, let's start with the middle. The only one that's in both is 6. Then the last thing, the only thing that is a multiple of 2 is 8, and a multiple of 3 is 9. So then 5 would go on the outside. Describe the region A, intersection B with a complement. So this means everything in A and not B. So we have 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what you'd write here. All elements of A and not B. Right, the next question, 1, C and D, they just go on talk about probability. So the first one for 2 marks says 2 numbers are selected at random. So you're going to have pick 1 and then pick 2. It says determine the probability that they both are elements of A and not B. So we just spoke about 4 of the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, are in that group, and there's 10 numbers in total. So you'd say pick 1 as 4 out of 10, but then pick 2, because you've picked a number, there's only going to be 3 left in that group, and overall there's only going to be 9. Okay, so this is conditional probability. So if you're picking a number out, there's going to be less numbers overall, and then you just multiply them 2 probabilities together. So that would give you 12 over 90, which is 2 over 15. Okay, the next one, similar question, but this time it says it only wants 1 in the group. So that means we're going to have 2 different outcomes. So the first outcome that we're going to have is going to be the same as the first one. So you've got 4 in that group, but because it only wants 1 in that group, pick 2 is going to be from the rest of the numbers. So there's 6 numbers that are not in that group. Okay, that's scenario 1. Scenario 2, you could have picked out first 6 out of 10 out of the group that isn't A intersection complement B. And then you could multiply that then by, okay, well, there's actually 4 in that group. Your second pick could have been out of 9. Okay, and then you'd multiply them 2 things together. So we've got the first one, and then we multiply, oh, sorry, not multiply, you add them together. You add them, that should be a plus. Add them together. So we're going to add that together with 6 over 10 times by 4 over 9. And that answer is going to give me 8 over 15. Okay, and then the answers are here on that next slide if you want to pause and have a look. Right, one of the misconceptions in the last week's assess prep task was the difference between if you see an N or a P. N is talking about the numbers in that set, so the before in set A, and P is talking about the probability of picking one of them, so that would be 4 out of 10. So these 2 things are talking about different. One of them is how many's in the group, one of them is probability. So if I do B, I know there's 5 in that group. What's the probability of picking one of them? Well, it's 5 out of 10, which is a half. How many numbers are in A union B? There's only 2. What's the probability of picking one of them numbers? Is 2 out of 10. How many elements are not in A and B? There's 3. What's the probability of picking one of them? It's 3 out of 10. Okay, right, and then last question before you can do the assess prep task. 2 numbers are selected at random. Calculate the probability that only 1 is an element of A and B. So you've got 2 in there, so that would be 2 out of 10. Then the probability of picking something else is going to be 8 out of 9. Or you could have picked 8 out of 10 first and then just pick 2 out of 9 for your second. So you take them 2 things and you would multiply them together. You're not multiply, say it again. You would add them both things together to work out the probability of that happening. So let's see. So 8 over 9. And we're going to add that with 2. Ooh. So the probability of that happening is 16 over 45. Right, go and try the assess prep task, and then I'll speak to you next lesson.